and you join me in the commentary box. Now, it's been a long time since I was in the commentary box. Unfortunately, I am sidelined for this week's race due to injury, as I have damaged the soft tissue in my hand. Now, that unfortunately makes driving a bit difficult. So, looks like that championship lead's going out the window, doesn't it? But anyway, moving swiftly on to what's actually going on. This is just qualifying so far. 15 minutes left of a 20-minute quali session. We have a new arrival in Dominique DC94, sorry. He's in the black Nissan GTR, and fun fact, he is the son of last week's winner, Lunar Module. So that should be an interesting way. The GTR gang has expanded, but this time with family. As Dominique and Silver Fox look to be having a nice little tete-a-tete during quali. Marco has gone on to pole in the Lamborghini. He missed last week's race, but he was the winner in the first round at Laguna Seca, so all eyes firmly on him and the module this week to see who can get the result. Of course, Suicide should be decent in the black and red Audi R8. Of course, very quick, but unfortunately sometimes his internet betrays him, and that was the case last week. He got into the race and got disconnected. Ooh, and looks like he just got a little bit greedy on the throttle. Expertly weighted there as Owen goes past there, or Beastie. Just to make it a little bit more convenient, we'll get things up like the speedometer, not the map, timings, no, track map. Just so we get a better idea of what is going on, really. So he looks to have bailed on that lap, unfortunately. Fanta, as of course, usually waits till near the end of qualifying. Silver Fox, who has made rapid improvements this season, been there and thereabouts a couple of times in this opening couple of rounds, so the Mercedes seems to be treating him well. We've got Andy, of course, who I think has finished third place in both races and is in second place in the championship by 1 point. He's on 43 points, and I myself, prior to injury, was on 44 points. So that could be an interesting story arc for the season. And of course, good old Mark in the red Ferrari. Looks to be coming out for another outlap. So as it stands then, with roughly half of qualifying left. Marco with a fantastic 1 minute 38.8. Lunar Module with a 141.5, which is by no means a poor attempt. Suicide with a 43.3, a 44.4 for Dom on his debut, which is, again, maybe it's not first and second lap times at the moment, but it'll take him some time to get used to a new group of drivers. Beastie, of course, with a 48.9. I don't quite think he's found his rhythm yet. I expect him to pull out a better lap throughout the remainder of this qualifying, and hopefully he can avoid a turn 1 incident and therefore have a decent shot at a better result this week. He's had a couple of unlucky mishaps so far this season, and that's sort of being a recurring theme. Laguna Seca, I think the car betrayed him, and I think he got in a little tangle at Sakito or Suzuka. Obviously, as this is Project Cars 2, and we don't have the proper Suzuka. But anyway, that's irrelevant. Certainly interesting development that Mark, Andy and Fanta have all yet to post a lap time. And speaking of which, Andy there with a 42.0, that's certainly a respectable lap time. Places him 4th so far. Just Fanta and Mark left to actually put something on the timing boards. Looks like Andy is a 10th down coming through sector 1. Can he get it turned in nicely at the hairpin? Yes, it looks like a clean exit as well. Hopefully recuperating some of that lost time. So he's got to get it braked and down into first gear to get in for that tight left-hander, sorry. He comes barreling towards the stadium complex, 7/10 up now. This could be a lap that could push him above. A Silver Fox, I think, has just about gone in front. Or what's that, Mark? No, Mark, of course. He's set a lap now, a 41.4. He's been putting in the practice this weekend. It looks to be paying dividends as he gets in at 2nd place so far. And Andy has hit back with a 41.4 as well. Less than a 10th to separate Mark and Andy's laps there. They might struggle to extract more time. And there's less than a 10th between Mark, Andy and Lunar Module. And there's only 4/10 between Mark, Andy, Luna and Silver Fox. So between 2nd and 5th, that looks like an absolute humdinger of a battle. At least in this qualifying, and if that plays out into the race, that could be fantastic to watch. Just gotta see what Silver Fox can bring to the table. He's run a little bit wide there. He probably would have got a slow down penalty from that. As Marco on another lap, going round the Mercedes sort of book chute decent exit. But he's a 10th down off his best lap. That would have been a 38.9, which is still nothing to be sniffed at. As Andy just coming into the stadium section, I think that was Suicide right in front. In the number 1 Audi. Just struggles to get it and it understeers across the curbing. It doesn't look to have given him any sort of penalty. And he's 4/10 up. Still not enough to propel him up the boards, but you know, Andy didn't improve on that last lap. Silver Fox, I believe, had a lap time invalidated for track limits. Here he is just through this last section. Looks like there's a couple of cars going into the Mercedes curve. Really close together. As Silver Fox comes across the line. I don't think he took anything off his time. Dominique under pressure from Beastie, and it looks like Beastie's had some kind of coming together with something, because he's got heavy front damage, and it's a drag race. It's a drag race into the first turn, and that's something that could be an interesting watch as Suicide comes out the pits, looking to get another attempt in with 4 minutes and 35 seconds left on the clock. Oh, and he's getting a bit loose there in front. All sorts of sideways for him there. Owen obviously getting a little bit desperate. Maybe not feeling the car. I don't know. But something isn't quite to the normal standards we've come to expect from him. Andy just crossed the line. No improvement can extract anything else out of that Ferrari and close the gap to Marco. And nope, couldn't extract any more lap time. Now Silver Fox comes round with another attempt. See what can he get now as we near the embers of the quali session here. Oh, 1.9 down. As Owen coming across the line, what can he get? He's 7.5 seconds up, and he's in second place at 141.3. I told you to watch out for something near the end of the session, because Dominique has improved his lap to a 43.8. The Suicide weaving all around running wide at the first turn. And they're getting a bit close to comfort. Silver Fox there, unfortunately, just made a slight error. Now Mark will be looking to try and see if he can beat that time that Beastie posted. Didn't beat him by an awful lot, and this could be very close. He's a second down. Swiftly moving on, Andy. Now we have 2 minutes left in the session. Only really another, probably one more throw at the dice left for everyone, to be honest with you. The Suicide looks like he might be being held up by Dominique. I'm not entirely sure. Those two have been following each other all session. Dominique, I think, there has let him through. Can Suicide pull something with this lap? No, it's a second down. Dominique, obviously, I don't think he'll be pulling anything fantastic there. Unfortunately, he had to bail out of that attempt. Back towards the front with just a minute left now. Mark barreling his way down to the tight, sweeping right-hander, and then the very, very narrow, complicated horseshoe curve in the stadium section. Andy, I think it is not far behind. Just got to get it through the last corner, see if he can get there. A little bit of a tighter line. Oh, only 4/10 down on his best lap so far. And Andy, oh, he only just marginally failed to beat his time there, as we've got 10 seconds left of qualifying. Suicide has just run wide. That's unfortunate there. On that pull, he's allowed to finish. As we've got 4 of them out on track at the moment, I believe they'll give them the chance to finish flying laps. Suicide there couldn't improve. Can Dominique pull something? Oh, it's a little bit loose and sketchy on the last corner, but no improvement, unfortunately, for him. As we're coming back again to Mark and Andy, who'll both be looking to get that last gasp piece of glory there. 7/10 down for Mark at the moment. Oh, and Andy making sandcastles. That's unfortunate. He was obviously pushing the envelope and the limits of grip. Unfortunately, when you're pushing the limits of grip, they don't always last. As beautifully illustrated there. And that is the end of qualifying. Marco in first with a simply astounding lap. Owen with a very decent lap to get himself into second place on the grid. Mark in third, Andy fourth, Lunar Module fifth, Silver Fox in sixth, Suicide seventh, Dom, the son of Lunar Module, in 8th, and Fantaborth, who did not qualify. He did not set a lap in the qualifying session. Hopefully he makes it back in time for the race. We will soon find out. And hopefully that won't leave a car on the grid. Although luckily, with him being at the back of the grid, it shouldn't affect proceedings too much. If the marshals have to recover the car off the start line. So, just gonna grab a quick drink before the race starts. Right. I assume everyone has loaded their pit strategies and their setups, got all the fuel, everything ready for this race. It's going to be 38 laps here at Hockenheim. in Grand Prix circuit format. U.S.R. PCARS 2 League. Season 7, Season 7, Race 3. It should be a tough one, and I'm sure this week we will see a new championship leader. I'm ruled out with injury, so I'm commentating this race, bringing you some live U.S.R. action. And this is the process where everyone's sorting out their pit strategies and etc. Just going for any last minute toilet breaks before the race starts. Obviously the only downside to PCARS 2 on the console is it does not show you what's going on. So when cars go into the pits, it doesn't show them taking tyres off and things like that. It shows the driver, but it doesn't show the spectators' pit crews and we can't see people around there with the tyre blankets and all that sort of paraphernalia. And that seems like it could be, there's the magic word, sinking the 5 red lights. And it seems like a good getaway there. Suicide has made a decent run up the inside. Seems like Marco has been hipped to the first corner by Beastie. Andy making a decent move to the inside. Can he get it nice and tight and avoid it? Oh, he might make it stick round the outside. Mark all the way down to 5th now, with Suicide getting the run. It will be on the outside for the corner, but I think he might just make it through Lunar Module in 4th place. Dominique in 7th place. Vanderborg didn't make it back in time. He's overtaken Silver Fox. I don't know what happened with Silver Fox. Silver Fox won the rear. Vanderborg in 8th place. Dominique, oh, and that's a big one. Suicide and Mark there, I think. Yeah, I didn't see that, but Mark's car went into the air, and I think he's going to struggle now. It's a shame after such a good qualifying performance from both of them, really. Going on to matters a bit further up the field. Beastie leading, Andy second. Marco he qualified on pole, but a long way in it. He's been picked in the first the second box. Lunar Module in 4th place. Dom, of course, his son following close behind in 5th place. Vanderborg in 6th place with a comfortable gap to Silver Fox, who is in the pits. And Mark in 8th place, and I believe Suicide has left the lobby, so something tells me he either got a disconnect or there was obviously something in that massive smash. As you can see, oh, how nice they've actually fixed that now. We can see the juicy action going on in the pit lane. It's going to take them quite a while to fix that car, so we're going to cut now to the battle for 2nd place, as Marco just trying and making it stick. Got round the outside, the 2 trailer park girls overtake. Oh, a little dab of the grass in, but he kept it nicely. Everyone seems to have made it through that corner without a problem now. Actually, some distance being created. The field starting to spread out a little bit now. Lunar module just went wide. Dominique looking to apply some pressure. Fanta 3 seconds or so behind Dom, which isn't out of sight, and Fanta can possibly bring that back. Silver Fox and Mark will both be looking to recover. And a little message you may notice popped up there, suicide just playing, but it looks clear. He did the arc and came over. That looks like that one will probably go to further investigations. Be interesting to see what happens with that one. As Marco now looking to close the gap and apply that pressure onto Beastie. The Ferrari versus the Lamborghini. The two GTRs chasing the Renault RS01. We got a Porsche 911 RSR, Mercedes SLS, and of course a Ferrari. And here we are, Marco now less than a second away. The battle for first place starting to get really tense now on lap 4. But there's still some way to go, of course. After all, it is only lap 4 of 38. So, still a lot of way to go yet, but Marco here, he's got the slipstream. He might have the legs. No, he thought better of it. He could have very easily gone for the full send, but decided better. And I believe those two could be about to start getting close to Mark, who I think at this point is a lap down. He hasn't actually been lapped yet, but he's close to being lapped, as Marco really is looking, sticking his nose in, he's kept it tighter. He's got a better run through this. This could be interesting. Beastie looking a little bit sketchy through there. There was definitely a hit. Marco really is applying the pressure, and we're just going to go on board now. As you can see, he's really trying to give it the full extent. Oh, he managed to keep that actually quite nice. And now he's going to be hoping to atone for that few tenths he lost in the first corner. When it's getting tense now, this battle is tense. We can see Beastie there with a little bit of oversteer, a little bit greedy on the throttle there. Lucky not to have any issues with that. Everywhere else seems to be relatively the same, no real battles going on for the most part. Oh, and that could be it. Beastie went wide, he's forced Marco into the gravel there. Oh, that was some interesting tactics there. Left him absolutely no room to go through the corner. Gotta be careful as to how much room he takes up, of course, as they were practically side by side. Which might give Owen just enough to have a little bit of a reprieve now from that very intense pressure that Marco was putting on. As Andy is 7 seconds behind the leader, about 6 seconds behind Marco, and he's about equal distance. He's as close to Marco as Lunar Module is to him. Dominique starting to close the gap. Could see a bit of a father-son battle here. And Fanta also closing up. Silver Fox, unfortunately, of course, he's not having the best of times, but Mark will feel heavily aggrieved, and as you can see there, Beastie and Marco just in the background of that shot. You can see the battle is starting to develop again. This could be a very intriguing battle. Marco definitely looks to have the pace advantage, but I don't think he can actually get through yet. So it'll be interesting to find out whether he manages to find his way through. As he slipstreams, he moves to the inside. Oh, it's neck and neck. He'll be on the outside though for this hairpin. Can he get the move done before the corner? Neither of them wants to back out. Oh, they're going side by side through the hairpin. Once again, Beastie just using a car placement on the inside to negate the threat of the onrushing cars. Oh, Marco really is all over the back of Beastie. That Lamborghini terrorizing the white Cascade Ferrari. Oh, the little tap there. Oh, that got a little bit too close for comfort, but good track etiquette there. Marco waited, allowed Beastie to stay in the lead, of course. Which obviously shows that that was unintentional. Nice to keep him left back there between fellow drivers. But Andy seems like he might benefit from the gap now, and potentially add another factor to this battle for the lead. It's quite close still between Luna and Dom. Fanta is still a few seconds away. He's within sight, but he's still a few seconds away. Silver Fox, of course, kind of in no man's land by himself, really. I don't actually know what happened to Silver Fox, to be perfectly honest with you, but he has done his mandatory stop, as has Mark, so that should help them. perhaps in the later stage of the race. As we go back to this battle for the lead, seems to be where the action is. Safely round the horseshoe. Beastie spins out there. Marco retaking the lead. Andy takes second place. Lunar Module just can't get close to take third place, but he still have a go. He had to back out for a second there. Oof. A lot of action going on in this opening 8 laps, especially at the front of the pack. And there was a bit of a to-do. Fanta starting to catch Dom, which could make for an interesting battle. Of course, the combination of Portugal and South Africa for Luna and Dom against the strong Scottish grit. Of course, Fanta, of course, perhaps a little bit of an Iron Bro inspired livery. Maybe, or maybe a new blue raspberry flavoured Fanta drink. Silver Fox still in no man's land, and Mark just trying not to be lapped, I think, at this point, or he might just be about to let Marco go through. Andy isn't quite close enough to really make an attempt, but Lunar Module, of course, is fairly close to Beastie. There as they go through the Promenade curve. Lap 10 now of 38. Marco got past Mark. Gets it into the hairpin, keeps it clean. See where the battle for 5th place is shaping up at the moment. It's fairly close, as is the battle for 3rd place. Lunar Module not quite pulling up trees like he did at Suzuka. Oh, and Beastie there, taking out some of the advertising hoardings and brake markers. I have no idea what's going on with his car. He seems to have some sort of oversteer problem in this race. Perhaps needing some tweaks to the setup for the next race, as Andy will be looking to navigate Mark in the not too distant future, whilst Marco will be hoping that that takes longer than Andy would like, so he can build upon his 6-second lead, or 5-second lead even. Fanta still not quite close enough to really make any sort of an attempt. Of course, Beastie slipping back a little bit due to that error. Of course, Lunar Module in 3rd place, which will be a decent result, as he was saying before the race, he's not really a fan of driving this particular circuit. It's not one of his favoured tracks, but he's doing well to be in 3rd place. As Marco looking to dominate this race and really make up for lost time from missing the last round. Of course, he is still doing well, of course, because he won the opening round. I believe the best action really at the moment is probably this battle for 4th position. Lap 12 now of 38. It'll be interesting to see as we're starting to slowly creep towards the halfway point of the race, and should be interesting to see what happens when it gets dark and how the race evolves and how the circuit evolves once it gets to night time. Oh, and Beastie has made another unfortunate error. That means he might need to go into the pits as Dominique comes past, and I believe Beastie might have retired the car there. It's unfortunate. Fanta now will be looking to see if he can get an extra 3 seconds or so out of the car, see if he can make his way to 4th place. That would be a fantastic finish for him. Of course, he managed to finish 5th or 6th, I think, at Suzuka last week, which gave him some decent points to build upon. I think the only drivers that have managed to race in every single race this season are Mark, Silver Fox, Lunar Module, and Andy are the only drivers who've been ever present. I wasn't on that list up until last week. I haven't technically missed the race, I'm still here commentating, but I'm not personally racing. As Marco definitely starting to build what could potentially grow into a frankly unassailable lead, but at the moment only 8 seconds or so, so it's not impossible yet. Anything can happen, a long way to go yet. Lunar Module seems to have 3rd place reasonably comfortable at the moment. It seems for now like everyone is reasonably comfortable where they are, with only Dominique under any sort of light pressure. It's a bit of a shame really for Silver Fox and for Mark, who at the moment haven't had the best of races. Unfortunately, it's a shame that we didn't quite see Winter, but it certainly sent Mark flying and knocked him over, I think. Lots of sorts of body work and aero. The pit crew had to quickly reassemble. Definitely made for an interesting watch. It would be worth going to see what definitely, definitively happened there. There's not a lot. The race has really started to settle down now as we're getting to that halfway point. Be interesting to see what happens with the pit stops, because that could be the factor really, where 10 seconds or so could help some of the drivers a little bit down the order, perhaps. Lap 16 of 38. Marco's starting to run away with it a little bit here. 13.3 seconds in the lead. Everyone seems to be reasonably spread out across the field. whilst there's not too much going on circuit at this particular moment, I would like to use this opportunity to say that if you are interested in getting involved with U.S.R, if you like what you've seen, then send me a message either through my PSN, which is ashpill98, all uppercase, ASHPIL 98, and obviously my YouTube. You can comment on the video or send me a private message on YouTube. And let me know if you want to get involved with the league. We primarily look for experienced sim racers rather than more arcade style racers. However, if you are willing to learn from more experienced sim racers, then you are welcome to do so. As Dominique now heads into the pits, and that should give Fanta the opportunity to move into 4th place, as the first pit stop for the rest of the field has now been made, and we are halfway through the race. Yikes. Marco could be about to bring us on to lap 20. Dominique, he seems to have been a long while in the pits, you know. A lot longer than he potentially should have been. He must have had some damage or something. Because that's cost him a fair while. Silver Fox has even managed to sneak his way through. So that's a decent bit of driving really from Silver Fox to catch up and get involved, bringing himself back into the core of the race. Andy now in the pits. Lunar Module up to 2nd place. And Fanta just rounding the final corner. It could be close, but I think Andy will just about keep position for now. I told you it would start to get more interesting after the pit stops. Yeah, if you're interested in joining the league, just message, and yeah. Everyone in this league it's a great bunch, and it's a very, very good project. Been going for almost a year now. Originally started on F1 and then transitioned over to PCARS once we got some of the drivers a bit more experience. And yeah, that brings us to where we are today really. So yeah, if you want to get involved, get in touch. just as all the normal YouTube stuff, you know, like, subscribe and all that kind of jazz, as that allows my video to get more recognition and therefore get shown to more people, so we can make more people aware of the fantastic league that we have and the progress that we're making. So yeah, that would be really appreciated if you could do that. If you know any friends that like to race, let them know. Potentially get some more numbers. It'd be really good. Yeah, Dominique definitely must have had damage in the pits, because he's fallen so far back that he's starting to fall into clutches of Mark now. And Silver Fox has left him well and truly. I mean, Fanta is only 7 seconds behind Andy, so Fanta really has had a great recovery drive, perhaps profiting from some accidents in front of him, but even so, you're still gonna keep it clean and stay out of trouble, because if you can do so, you can go from last to the middle of the pack, and you know, as the light, I believe, is now starting to slowly fade, and it might it'll probably be dark right at the end of the race, lap 22 now of 38, 16 more laps to go, probably about to be 15 in just a matter of seconds, as Marco rounding that final corner to take us on to lap 23. 15 laps left, and I believe Marco now coming up to lap Silver Fox, with Dominique and Mark being a lap down. Now Andy is being caught here by Fanta. This could get interesting. Will we see a battle for the ages start to develop here? As a lunar module, I believe, has pitted as well, which luckily, I think, for him, he won't suffer the same fate as Dominique, as he should get out of the pits before they come past. It's going to be close. Andy now deciding to pit. Fanta, however, is going to stay out, and believe it or not, Fanta is now in second place. Lunar Module still in the pit box, because Andy in the pit box as well. I've absolutely no idea what's going on with the pit stops. Seems like everyone's pit stop is taking a while there. Lunar Module finally getting released, and Marco coming into the pits now from the lead of the race. Silver Fox has managed to... He's had a great comeback. He was second to last and miles behind, and he really has had a great race to come back to 4th position. Lunar Module, of course, just out the pits. His car will be a bit fresher and a bit faster. Dominique now could start to put some pressure onto Andy now. It's definitely starting to get darker. And Marco is 51 seconds in front of Fanta. I believe that, well, this is certainly a turn up for the books. Fanta Boars in second place. This would be his best ever U.S.R finish. It would be quite nice to see him get a decent result. Certainly a result of this magnitude, at least. Marco looks like he could have this in the bag. Almost coming up to lap, or re-lap, Dominique. Oh, Dominique got a little bit of a dodgy exit there from the Ravenel curve and just knocking that cone flying. Now, Lunar Module under pressure from Silver Fox, slightly. It's starting to close, obviously some of them starting to run with the headlights on. Andy's running with his lights on, Dominique, Marco as well, Fanta, Lunar Module. Silver Fox has now put his lights on. He was the only driver running without his headlights on. And I believe that will signal now, and it's starting to head into the really, really interesting section of the race where it starts to get dark now. This could further mix up the field as it becomes harder to see where they're going. Of course, some drivers excel when it gets darker, some don't. I personally like the racing at night time because, I don't know, I just seem to be a little bit quicker at night, but others seem to drop off at night time. As Dominique probably will allow Marco to come through in the not too distant future. Silver Fox looks like the gap has stabilised. He's about 5 or 6 seconds behind Lunar Module and about 5 or 6 seconds ahead of Andy. So Dominique actually not all that far away in the grand scheme of things. Lap 26 now, 38. Just go for a little run through on board with everybody now. Of course, we're now on board with Marco. You can see he's given it a decent go now. Fanta, of course. Lunar Module. Andy there, he's suffered a spin and he's gone to the wall at turn 1. That's desperately unlucky for him. Dominique going past, and Mark, of course, looking to start to gain some ground maybe in this nighttime section of the race. As we head back to trackside camera now. Andy unfortunately seems to have capitulated a bit in this race. He was right up there up until, well, about 6 laps ago he was probably 3rd or 4th, and now slipping all the way back to 6th place and only 12 seconds away from Mark, who has had a horrid race really. Mark had a brilliant qualifying, 2nd or 3rd on the grid, and ended up pretty much stone dead last in 9th place, by the end of the first 2 or 3 laps. Beastie had to retire after having a couple going to get around the Phantom, of course, was doing so well in 2nd place, but of course the pit stop now, and it could be close. Dominic get Pat is wide, but he will gain the ground, and Dominic has made it stick. He's got into 4th place. Oh, he's a little bit wide. Fanta there, trying to keep it clean. Dominic keeps it. As you can see now, the night drawing in. It's actually a bit tougher. Maybe not having the same confidence they once were. A Silver Fox there, being wrapped by Marco, despite the fact that he's in 3rd place. Luna Roger will go it all the way back up to 2nd place. This is a fantastic showing. Who is probably going to be a new championship leader, or at least probably up to 2nd place. I think Andy will take 3rd. Marco probably have a decent chance of taking the outright lead of the championship if he continues like this, because it looks to me like Marco might have a clean sweep, which would be another 28 points, 25 for the win. And then of course fastest on and Polly, fastest in pole position. So it's either 1 point for pole and 2 for fastest race lap, or 1 for fastest race lap, 2 for pole. I'm not entirely sure at this point. It's a while since I last took a look at that, as I've really not been about for the last few days up until yesterday. And unfortunately, as you see a message come through there, Campbell was unable to make it, having been able to make it to practice. He was unable to make it for the race, partly due to the American time zone, of course, also due to some other issues, which a good recovery for such matters, which I will not go into great detail about over the internet. Dominique starting to be closed up again by Fanta. Mark not a million miles away, and Andy starting to fall behind a bit. It's such a shame to see his race capitulate in this manner, really. But he's still, at this rate, he's still going to get some points on the board. There's still 8 laps left, and who knows, anything could happen. Some of the cars in front of him might crash out, or need to go into the pits for a very long, for a while, and that could help him still. So let's not jump to conclusions just yet. But Lunar Module looking fairly comfortable, 18 seconds ahead of Silver Fox, looking like a decent bet for second place, really. So he started going back to pulling up trees. And on the subject of pulling up trees, Marco has been absolutely sensational in both of the races that he's been in. And yeah, he's really taken the Lamborghini Huracan, and yeah, it's he was under quite a bit of pressure from Camel. Obviously Camel couldn't be here tonight, and obviously he had a really good battle throughout the first phase of the race with Beastie, before Beastie ran out of grip and it started snowballing. So yeah, he's maybe not as invincible as it looks right now. Of course, he looks pretty much nailed on to win, unless of course he were to run out of fuel or something of that ilk, but that looks unlikely at this juncture. Just looking around the grid to try and find the best battle that's going on right now. Not a great deal of battling going on at the moment. The race has really started to settle with 6 laps to go, and it's certainly been an interesting one. There's been lots to divulge, and that the opening 17 or 18 laps were really something. That first half of the race was absolutely hectic, and yeah, the race only started to fizzle out, I think, about lap 26, so yeah, Marco's just driven so well and so consistent, though, that I believe he's actually coming up to lap Lunar Module. For the second time, I believe, or first time, even.
beginning to catch Fanta. Possibly. Maybe not. Dominique closing up to Silver Fox is probably the only real battle, and maybe could be an interesting battle of this last 5 laps. Silver Fox will need to keep his wits about him and make sure he nurses that car home to get a pretty impressive 3rd place. Silver Fox there getting a little bit out of shape, and Dominique really starting to close up, could provide some late pressure. Fanta looks to be coming under some late pressure from Mark as well. Lap 35 now, 38. The dying embers of this race, as Luna Mortual is actually right behind Marco, but he is a lap down on him. Marco has simply been unassailable in the second half of this race, really. After Andy and Beastie capitulated, it really wasn't much of a challenge for him, and it's a bit of a shame, really, for the maybe from a neutral standpoint, of course, but a fantastic performance once again from the Italian. Watch him doing it really well again. Of course, he was last week's race winner at Suzuka. He didn't have the best race at Laguna Seca, but he wasn't bad. And Marco, of course, won at Laguna Seca and he wasn't able to make the last race at Suzuka. Dominique and Silver Fox now starting to have a decent battle coming into this last 2 laps now, which this is a critical point of the race. Now, you know, when you battle 2 laps from the end in the dark, you know, you've got to keep your wits about you and really concentrate to get that result. And it'll be interesting to see if Silver Fox can keep this podium place. Fanta under pressure now from Mark. That could be an interesting development, but he hasn't really got a lot of time left. Marco probably bringing us a dose of lap 37 in about 7 seconds time, roughly, that is, not definitely. A little bit more than 7 seconds then. And there we go, that is lap 37, only 2 laps to go for Marco, of course, lap 37, and then the final lap, the penultimate lap of the race for him. Lunar module looks reasonably comfortable, but Silver Fox under pressure now from Dominique. This is an absolute battle, and Mark has closed up to Fanta, and he could really apply some late pressure as well. Dominique looks to be can Mark, well, it'll be interesting to see what happens between Silver Fox, Dominique, Fanta and Mark in this last lap, see if any position changes on in this last couple of laps even. I think Dominique has the better run. It'll be interesting to see whether he can get that move done. It's close, it's very, very close. He's definitely got a better exit though, and he's got the run on him through the kink. And Mark, of course, did get Fanta. Didn't see that, unfortunately, to show you guys. Oh, and Silver Fox, he's I don't know whether there was, I missed that one as well. Apologies, viewers. Some poor coverage there. I missed both the critical overtakes. As Marco leads us onto the final lap now, and this has been a very intriguing race. Dominique in third, but it's not over yet. Silver Fox could still take that place back. However, Fanta has dropped a long way back, and Andy could potentially catch him. I think Fanta must have spun or something like that, as Mark has absolutely left him for dead. But I think Mark will probably take 5th place, really. I think he has every reason to be happy with 5th place, considering he got punted all the way to the back, pretty much. Well, probably wasn't so much of a punt, it was just a driver error from Suicide, and he just so happened to be the unlikely, the unfortunate receiver of it, as Marco comes across the line to win round 3 of season 7 of the U.S.R Project Cars 2 League. That's 2 wins out of 3 in both races that he's actually raced at. He won the season opener at Laguna Seca. He's won here at Hockenheim. He didn't race at Saquito, but it's definitely when he turns up, he's winning, and it's a fantastic drive today from him. Fantastically driven. Lunar Module did really well. for second place. Dominique managed to hold on to third place. Whilst his dad just in front. Oh, nope, sorry, fourth place was that? Yeah, Dominique did drop back to fourth place. Silver Fox, very impressive drive to third place. Mark with a good recovery drive to finish fifth place. Should be more than happy with that. Andy, unfortunate to capitulate after such a strong performance for the majority of the race. But now, of course, he will finish sixth. He could have had so much more in this race, though. He'll probably feel really grieved. But he did drive really well, and it was just bad luck, I think, more than anything else. And of course, Fanta, of course, should make it across the line, and he does. And there you have it, folks. That was race 3 of season 7 U.S.R. Project Cars 2 League. I've been Napalm Rage Racing. This has been the U.S.R. And, well, like, subscribe, all that good things, you know, comment or send me a message if you want to get involved in this league and join this lovely group of people. And until next time, folks, hopefully I'll be back driving and racing back in the usual format, but if not, I'll catch you in the commentary box next time. Sayonara.